Hello. How you doing? Welcome to the Spin Political Commentary. Got a big show for you, and also I got a special guest, a real good friend of mine. Oh man, we haven't talked in a long time, and since I got kicked off of YouTube, I got kicked off of Facebook and Twitter. But anyways, I have Wesley from old school Wolf Media. We'll put him up here right now to introduce himself.
Hey, happy to be here. Yeah, it has been a long time. I just I've gotten too busy with life. But anytime a friend of mine freaking sends me a message, say, "Hey, log in," I'll do it.
Oh yeah. So man, what's happened? What's been going on with you lately, man? Like what do you think of this election and all that stuff like that?
Man, it is freaking. It's overwhelming. I can see why so many people on the left and the right are just tuning out. It's like I'm done with this show. There's too many twists or turns. It's freaking crazy. So you can see the media has been trying to control this from the beginning, and all these people, like people in their 50s for some reason, are just now discovering U.S. politics. I mean, I'm only 38, but this is the first time I have ever seen. I've seen the poll counter. I'm sorry, the ballot counter stop counting and say, "We're going to take a nap. We'll be back in 5 hours." Never in my life have I seen this.
I mean, it's like, it's been a very roller coaster. I mean, look, I want to be honest with you, man. This whole blame election, you know what I'm saying? I mean, from 2015 on, it's just been a circus, man, and I just don't get why. I mean, how? I mean, I'm to the point now that this right here is beyond politics. Very, very beyond politics now. I mean, this is just good and evil. You know what I'm saying? Up is down, down is up, left is right, and right is left, and so on and so forth. Completely just reversed. And what baffles me is that it's to say that I see the pattern plain as day, and there's still people that's dumb as hell. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's plain as day. And didn't know all the basic fuckery that's happening. I mean, with the press, and they're saying that they're pushing Biden, that he's even have his cabinet and the cabinet members that he's putting into his administration is like the merge of political and big tech and media and all that stuff like that, and really just implementing the this Aurelian culture and stuff like that. And what I have, let's make sure I got the right one. Gary, wait, what's his name? I mean, Newsom, the governor of California,
Gavin?
huh? Gavin Newsom,
King
right?
Gavin.
King Gavin, Adolf Gavin, if you want to.
Adolf Newsom.
Adolf Newsom.
We need to send them. We need to send them a little Adolf mustache.
you know. I mean, it's not just him. You know what I'm saying?
Governor Whitner, freaking Governor Cuomo, all these petty tyrants.
Oh my God, man! It's like, and I remember I was on a show, and I was doing a show a couple of days ago, and they're like, well, there's like, man, well, why didn't the question was, why didn't Trump? Excuse me. Why didn't Trump do something about? Why didn't Trump do something about it when these governors was. Why is he letting them continue to do this stuff? And and I had to put up, and I put up a point that I says, look, man, okay, you gotta put yourself in Trump's position. Everything he does, they are going to flip the script on him. So he might as well let them flip the script. I mean, I think this is actually they're just giving them Trump's just giving them the rope and just letting them hang themselves. I
Oh
mean,
yeah, yes.
and he wanted to do everything. But why they calling him a tyrant? You know what I'm saying, a dictator, and all this stuff like that. These governors, man, are just going nuts, man. They're just going nuts. They're going crazy on their own people. And bravo to California, bravo to people in Houston. I mean, people in Michigan coming up, and bravo for Ohio. You know what I'm saying? Misty Murphy. What was funny was that they were doing a protest over at the governor of Ohio's house, which I don't think it got any press because it was a dance party. You know what I'm saying? And they sat there, they had their glow sticks and all that, doing the electric slide in front of the governor's house. And
You
they're
know
going to tear
the virus can't catch you if you're doing the electric slide
that. But you know what? Though? It was
because
awesome,
it's
man.
electric.
Yeah, yeah. I hope to get Misty on, man, to talk about. She got another event coming up this Friday coming this Friday. Wait, let me look at my Facebook what this event is. All right, and I'm definitely gonna cover it because I really really enjoyed. I mean we all enjoyed it. You know what I mean? It was just very very awesome. It was good to see patriots out there and all that stuff like that. And I'm trying to. Man, I swear, man, my Facebook is, even though on my new one, it's really messing with me. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Okay.
Zuckerberg don't like you.
Oh, Zuckerberg hates me.
Yeah, God forbid a black man have a mind of his own, right?
Yeah, she hates me. I mean, he hates me, man. He really hates me. I know that for a fact. You know. But okay, here we go. Let me look. All right, she's having an event, and even they're messing with me on my blame. Wow, that's crazy, man. That's crazy. Okay. Here we go. Here we go. All right. Her event is Christmas light. It's called Christmas lights at Christmas light and carols at the divine at the Governor DeWine farm. So they're going to have Christmas lights and sing Christmas carols this Friday. And what I'll do is, if anybody can sit there and go out there, oh, look, now on her invite, right? I'll put it on there. Matter of fact, okay, Friday, November 27th. So that's right after Thanksgiving. So anybody who's nearby and all that stuff, right now she has 381 interested, and I wish I can go and stuff like that. Hold on, but I have to work. Okay. Let me share this real quick, and they're messing up my. I tell you what. I updated. I finally updated Windows 10, and I always hated it. You know what I'm saying? And now I'm messing. Now I have it, and it just I hate it. You know what I mean?
Well, they keep changing a good interface.
Yeah.
You can download they call it a shell, and make it look more like Windows 7 or even Windows XP, so it has a more traditional feel
Oh
to
yeah.
it. That
Yeah, but still, I mean, still, I don't like it. You know what I mean? I don't. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Mhm.
Okay, this is what I'm looking. All right. I mean, this girl right here, man. She's a great patriot. You know what I'm saying? And stuff
Mhm.
like that. Is that on? Is that on my screen now?
See it?
No, it's not on my. Dag, man. This is what
Oh,
I hate. This is what
you
I
got Misty
hate.
Murphy up.
Huh?
You got Misty Murphy up.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, she up, but check her out. She got a. I'm trying to get to the blame. Get to the blame. Here we go. No, I just hate women. I hate this. Well, anyways, I'm gonna pull it up. It's on the 27th. The address. Look, hit up Misty Murphy. She has her all that information. Christmas lights at the DeWine Farm. All the Ohioans and and everybody who wants to get more into it. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that into the Patriot movement. Great thing. I hope that this other states actually, get up and do it. Kudos to California. Kudos to Ohio, and even New York City's actually getting hip to the script. You know what I'm saying? Especially the blue, man. I mean, I'm gonna put it out there. The sheriffs out there, man, are really, really, really doing their thing. But anyways,
Can you share the link? Like, can you put the link in the chat room?
yeah, I am trying to right now. Hold on. Okay. You know what, man? Here we go. Misty Murphy. Okay, I got her up here, and I'm gonna send a link. Here's the link right here. Copy link address. All right. Uh, okay, I have the link inside. Paste. Here's a link to her event up there. It's Misty Murphy is happening over. It's happening over at the. What the heck is that other link? Wow. It's happening over in Ohio. Make sure you come out there. And also, let's get to the news. All right. Let's just get to the news. What's happening? As I said, I'm still a baby at this, man. Just going through all this. I need a blame producer, man. This is a lot of work. Okay. Okay, this right here is a video of from Newsmax. This is all on legal use and stuff like that, and they're tired of lockdown restrictions. And yesterday was the day before, and I think yesterday too they were having protests after the curfew, and I tell you what, it was like a street party out there, man. I was really really happy. I was really happy for them. So, did you see that?
Yeah. So I just made the link a little better for you. Put it in the private chat if you want to transfer that over to the to your channel.
Okay. Okay, I'm
Oh,
looking. I'm looking at her. God's night. What's up, man? Long time no see, brother. I'll be opening it up pretty soon once we're done with this, and this private chat thing is okay. Here we go.
be cool to go hang out in Ohio.
Yeah, man.
Wish I could do this. Like I wish I could do this full time. If I wish I was like independently wealthy or something. I could do that, or had
Right.
a huge following, just lived off of donations.
Oh, I know. I wish. I mean, I wish too, man. But you know what? As I said, everybody's small. I don't got a huge following, and Hey, well, as I said, there's a lot of things that there's actually quite a few of us were sitting there talking about, you know what I'm saying, doing a conglomeration of channels and stuff like that and just take shifts and what's good for them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And work from there. That's just to make like just to create our own network or something like that. But I'll talk to you more about that later. But anyways, um, this cat was saying we are tired of lockdown restrictions, man. And you know what? He's right. You know what I'm saying? And I'm glad California is really waking up. So this is on fair use. We have Newsmats with this gentleman talking about what's happening in California and what they feel about it. So let's see what he got to say. We'll make sure I have this. I want to make sure I have the sound on here because sometimes we forget about this. Share audio. There we go. Lovely. There we
Folks,
go.
you're looking at Robbie De Niro, the owner of Athletes Unleashed Incorporated. It is a gym, not a restaurant, of course, up in Orchard Park, New York, in Erie County. It's a suburb of Buffalo. By the way, Robbie is a former Marine, 14 years.
Oh,
as an
New York.
infantry
Excuse
officer
me.
in the Marine Corps.
Wait, no.
Welcome, Robbie. And
What is it?
I understand the health inspector was hassling you. We'll show the video in a moment. But first of all, welcome to Newsmax. How you doing?
Thank you for having me. I am doing very well. Appreciate you asking.
You bet. You bet. All right. So your gym, Athletes Unleashed, you are open. You're allowed to function right now in accordance with the COVID restrictions regarding capacity, correct?
We were open and we've been closed because they tightened up the restrictions and they are no longer allowing certain types of gyms to operate.
What's the problem with your gym? Why your gym is not the type that can operate?
Not only is that a tough question for business owners like myself to answer, but also for barbershops, massage parlors. We don't know why we can't operate because martial arts studios can operate, gymnastics studios can operate, dance studios can operate, which we love. We don't want anybody to have to close down, but we don't understand the discrepancy between the two. That's part of the problem.
I understand you had some business owners over and someone thought that you had maybe too many people at the meeting. And then the health inspector showed up along with the sheriffs. Let's take a look at that. And you're taking the video, as I understand it. You're actually operating the camera. Let's take a look.
You're on private property. You need to leave.
We're asking to.
Oh, okay. That was a video I seen yesterday.
Our tax dollars guarantee your guys.
That went viral.
But some of these people actually work for their money, and they don't want to lose their livelihood. I've lost friends, I've lost family who've killed themselves. I've seen clients die because they've lost their livelihood.
I'm sorry to hear that.
I know you are, and I'm asking for you to guys have some compassion for the people that have lost everything.
You know, there's something just not right about folks armed from the state coming to break up a meeting. I don't like the image at all. What were they asking you to do specifically, though?
They weren't asking anything. The health department official was unfortunately unable to articulate what the issue was. The sheriffs weren't able to articulate what the issue was. The sheriffs could only say, you should be wearing a mask. I was still conducting the protest inside my gym. I asked some of the patriots that were with me to escort the officers and the health department official off my premises because they walked in without asking permission. And that's exactly, as you see it in the video, it's exactly what happened. They told them to leave and they got them out, and they knew they weren't legally allowed to be there. If they were legally allowed to be there, they would have called for backup. They would have arrested us. They didn't. They couldn't charge us with anything because we weren't doing anything wrong. We were protesting.
Okay, so it was a protest. And by the way, I guess they got the message and they did an about face. We've got that as well.
They did.
You know what? I don't know.
Yeah,
Because
it's anonymous, right? It's
Yes,
anonymous.
But
They
it's a
can't be
legitimate
anonymous.
complaint.
You need to
It
know
can
your
be,
accuser. You need to
that's
know. It
not-
cannot
Okay,
be
wait,
anonymous.
you gotta go get a warrant.
It
It's not
cannot
how
be
health
anonymous.
department.
You
You
cannot be
gotta go
anonymous.
get a warrant.
You don't get the
You gotta go
right
get a
to
warrant.
privacy. You
It's
don't get to
code
violate the
enforcement.
Constitution. It
This
does
isn't
not
the
matter.
same
You
as
don't
that.
circumvent or subvert the
So we're
Constitution.
calling news.
That's the way it
News here,
works.
too.
All right. And then, one thing that people forget, Dr. Fauci at one point said wearing a mask can create unintended consequences. I saw the health inspector touch her face in that little sequence like 3 times. And touching your face is what you're not supposed to do, technically. And because she has the mask on, she's adjusting it all the time. I want to see the next clip, actually. I think we have them actually leaving. Take a look. Well, they left, Robbie. They sure enough. Is Robbie still there? Robbie, can you hear me? Yeah. Hi. So, Robbie, any repercussions after that? Like, what happened next? They left. Did they come back with reinforcements? What happened?
No, of course not. They knew they weren't supposed to be there. They knew they were wrong. I'd like to point out that this woman the health department official tried stating, hey, we don't need a warrant because we're different. We don't fall into the same rules. But she needed to bring a couple of sheriffs with her. So if she wants to claim she doesn't fall into the same rules, then don't bring the cops with you. They knew they were wrong and they left. They did not come back. But one of the councilmen, town councilman Flynn, I believe his name is, posted something on social media talking about how he was going to look into what other repercussions he could take against me. So I called him out on it. I said, bring it. What repercussions do you want to bring against a bunch of patriots that were having a protest? 0. That's how many repercussions you're going to bring against me.
Hey, by the way, so look, I told you my view on the mask. I wear one, but I remember what Fauci said and the unintended consequences. And I don't want anybody hassling me, but what's your position on the mask? I mean, do you refuse to wear one? And is that your stance?
My position is freedom. We were born and given inalienable rights by our creator. I don't want those rights infringed, and my rights should not begin to be infringed when your fear starts. If you want to wear a mask, wear a mask. If you don't want to wear a mask, don't.
You make a strong point. Now, how about this? How about like if you come close to somebody else, the idea that perhaps you not wearing a mask could infect someone else, that, we understand your position, but somebody else says to you, look, your freedoms are great, but they're infringing on mine because I could get sick because you're not wearing a mask.
Again, my freedom can't be infringed upon because of their fear. If they want to live their lives in fear, they can do so, lock themselves in their house. I don't live in fear. And people need to understand that freedom can never be infringed. I fought 3 times for freedom. I'm not giving up because somebody's scared.
Robbie, I hear this too about the masks. I mean, 92% of America are wearing masks, and we're still seeing the spikes with COVID. So maybe the masks are not the key. You know what I'm talking about?
Right. Absolutely. The lockdowns are not working. The masks aren't working. It's going to run its course.
Robbie, you mentioned your service. When did you get out?
2012, April 6th, 2012.
And what was your MOS?
I was an infantry officer.
Awesome. Where'd you serve?
Thank you. Domestically or overseas in my deployments?
Well, let's go to the overseas is probably more interesting. Where'd you go?
I was in Afghanistan for 1 tour and 2 tours in Iraq.
Wow. And now you're home and they're hassling you about this stuff. How did you get into the gym business?
I transitioned out of the Marine Corps and tried stepping into the corporate world. It was not for me. I wanted to continue, taking care of people, training people, leading people. So I opened up a gym.
You're talking to a fellow Marine, right?
I do. I did a little homework on you. I understand you're in the reserves, and I appreciate your service, sir. Lieutenant Colonel, if I understand correctly.
That's true. Actually, I'm a retired Lieutenant Colonel now. I did my 20.
Roger, appreciate
hey,
your service.
Robbie, right back at you. Robbie De Niro, what's next for you? The gym is not functioning right now. It's very vague what they want from you exactly. So what are you going to do?
We are going to continue to resist. We are going to continue to demonstrate that the real America, the backbone of America, the hardworking men and women that made this country great, don't want these lockdowns. I just came from a 500-person protest rally that we organized right outside my gym. People from all walks of life, all shapes, sizes, colors, you name it, business owners, non-business owners. We just peacefully protested and showed our local government officials that we're not interested. And you know what? The police were not there. Do you know why? The police were not there because we are protesting peacefully, and we are on the right side of this. We are winning in the court of public opinion. America does not want to be locked down.
I know the cops and a lot of other people are with you on this. Robbie De Niro, we appreciate it. Check him out when hopefully life gets back to normal soon, or if not before. Athletes Unleashed Incorporated up in Orchard Park, New York. Great to see you, Marine.
You just watched Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable
Wow.
news channel, now in more than 70 million homes.
I mean, this Orwellian way of life, this Orwellian thing, man, is just, it's unreal. It's unreal, man, what they're doing to these businesses and stuff like that, man. I mean,
The health inspector don't care. She's got a nice government job.
pardon me?
So the health inspector don't care. She's got a nice government job.
Oh yeah, you know what I'm saying? And I mean, this goes to tell. I mean, this is right here. This tells you, man. Everybody's so worried, as I said yesterday, man. Oh wait, you got something. What do you have? What do you have up there to share, brother?
Well, it's just a picture, but yeah, go and put it up.
Okay. Oh yeah, I seen this. Right.
I love
Okay.
this.
Yeah, I mean, now this right here is the truth, man. Okay, look. For smoke, the ones that have filters, I mean, like real filters, that would actually work. Radioactive and all this stuff like that. I mean, and then the deadliest virus in history at the end of it. All right, and I was talking about it yesterday, man. I was like, okay, dude, this was made in Wuhan inside a lab, and these cats had full body suits. What in the fuck makes you think that a mask is going to protect you from this virus if the cats that were messing with it have full suits on?
And guess what else came from China?
What?
All the masks we're wearing.
Yeah. Yeah, true that too.
Every one of them. These are not even surgical grade masks. You pick them up, they all have a warning label on them that says, "Warning, this doesn't do shit."
Yeah, and then they know it's really silly, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, kudos to the artwork. You know what I'm saying? I mean, kudos about the artwork and all that stuff like that. People making each other's masks and all that because it's more or less a fashion statement. I have seen some cool ass masks. You know what I'm saying? That people made, and
I saw somebody walking around in a Jason mask.
really.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
But as I say, kudos to the people that made it like into an art form. You know what I'm saying? I have nothing. I mean, if it's creativity inside of something like that, man, you know, I mean, I won't wear a mask, but kudos for the creativity of some people that make maskless gifts. You know, I mean, they're just trying to. So I'm not going to. I mean, I'm not going to downgrade the art, but I do downgrade the stupidity because they want to have cloth masks made from, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Cloth masks and all that stuff like that. And a virus is smaller than bacteria.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And,
Basic biology. But they come back at you saying, "Oh, but it comes in water globulins." This isn't necessarily new information. I got into a Facebook argument with someone where I'm like, "Hey, you remember when this first came out and we were like spraying down all the shopping carts and then we realized it was airborne, so we can protect ourselves with a mask." And someone's like, "Well, it's because it's in water globulins." I'm like, how do you think germs spread? How is this the first time you've ever known that friggin', you know, that shopping cart handles are a safe haven breeding ground for germs?
right.
It's literally always been that way. Legitimately, we've had hand sanitizer wipes next to the shopping carts for like 20 damned years now because people were worried about that stuff. Now suddenly people are realizing, oh, it's for real. Germs live on that.
Right.
It's ridiculous. Right. But the mask will protect us.
I mean, it's nuts. I mean, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. It's Fiznock. I'll always say this story, right? And I'm like, look, dude, I says, at my job, I was like, they're telling me to wear a mask, and I'm asthmatic, and they said, well, if I don't wear a mask, then wear a face shield. And I'm like, what's the scientific significance of a face shield, and what is it going to do? It's, you know what I'm saying? It's airborne. They said, well, better something than nothing. I was like, okay.
The virus says, see, it's partly magical virus. It can, kind of like, well, see, in Japan, more specifically Okinawa, you have the shishi dogs. The shishi dogs like protect you from evil spirits. But the thing about evil spirits is evil spirits can't make turns. So what they do is they have two walls and an opening, and then a wall right there. So the evil spirits can't get through because they can't make turns. The virus operates on the same principle. So you got a shield there. It can't go through. It just hits the end of it and says, nuts. And just goes to the next Republican or something.
Oh man, that's funny. That's a good one. I mean, yeah, I mean the virus has brains. You know what I'm saying? It's smarter than us. You know, I mean,
Smartest virus ever.
yeah, smartest virus ever, man. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. I mean, as I said last night, there was a dude out there. Oh man, you mean you're not wearing a mask? I mean, don't you know the? Well, this is the exact quote. Don't you know the virus is out there? Like the boogeyman.
The boogeyman. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, you know. I mean, they're treating it like the boogeyman. I mean,
maybe you should spit some basic numbers at them. Ask them what's 380 trillion times 7.5 billion.
you know what, though? They don't care. No, when it comes to facts, you know what they say? It doesn't matter. Every single stupid dumbass that believes in dumbassery sit there. It doesn't matter. I mean, they tell you facts don't matter, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? They tell you to your face it don't matter. I mean, as I said, it's a straight brainwash. MK Ultra. You know, whatever it is, man. It's crazy. It's crazy how stupid these people are, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, let's go to the next story. All right. Okay. Sidney Powell's statement. Okay, this is wait, I think this is my fake news one. No, this is NTD public use, you know, this is what we're using it for. And the thing is this, right? That people are saying that Sidney Powell that the Trump campaign is stepping away from Sidney Powell, and that's not the fact. You know what I'm saying? What she's doing, and what's funny is yesterday when it actually went down, that it was like an hour after, then all this information, because this information came out. One person that was inside my chat was talking about, oh, Sidney Powell stepped away from the Trump team and all that stuff, or the Trump team was stepping away. And during that time, I was sitting there and I was looking on which one was I looking at? 'Cause there's so many of them now. Parlor, you know what I'm saying? I got Parlor, Gab, Minds, MeWe, you know what I'm saying? Because once I get kicked off of these these platforms, that's where I'm already at and established at, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But I was looking at Parlor, and come to find out that she was kicked off of Twitter. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, really? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I go, and this was like an hour that after it came on the press, and this was, I think it was this dude named Alex something, and then it was John Solomon, and a whole bunch of cats started. I was just watching it trend on Gab and not a word on Twitter. You know what I mean?
Mm.
And then they started putting the news, and then I guess that news, and it was about like 15 minutes after his name was Josh, was a gentleman that put it up, you know what I'm saying, inside the chat room. And then that's when a fake news started happening, and they sat there and they took her off for what was it, She was off for 24 hours while the fake news had sat there and made this allegation and stuff like that. And as I said, a lot of these, I mean, I know the stories and what happened and stuff like that, but I like to sit there and do these stories and stuff and have an honest opinion and an honest reaction of what happens. That's just that. That's just me. I go some different, some funner, and then after I get done, then I open up the panel. If anybody has any articles or news or anything like that, please feel free to put them in the chat or put them inside the or my Facebook inbox because you put them in the chat, they may not show up inside the chat. Conspiracy Box was on, and he put up links, and they never showed up inside the chat. Okay, let's get to it. Sidney Powell. What the press did to Sidney Powell.
Sidney Powell is not part of the president's legal team. The statement released on Sunday read Sidney Powell is practicing law on her own. She is not a member of the Trump legal team. She's also not a lawyer for the president in his personal capacity. The statement was signed by President Trump's personal attorney, Rudy Giuliani, and Trump campaign senior legal advisor and attorney for the president, Jenna Ellis. Another attorney with the Trump campaign, Wood, commented on the statement on Twitter. He wrote, "Sidney Powell and I are more alike than we're different. We're fighting different legal battles for the same clients. We, the people. People voted overwhelmingly to re-elect Donald Trump. All interests are aligned." In another statement, shortly after the vote, there are no coincidences. Everything is planned. He encouraged followers to keep faith. Former Trump administration official General Michael Flynn said Powell is staying the course to prevent massive deliberate election fraud. Powell has alleged that electronic voting systems used during the 2020 election switched votes to former Vice President Joe Biden from President Trump. And attorney Sidney Powell has confirmed that she is not part of the Trump's campaign legal team. Powell wrote in a statement that her intent has always been to expose all the fraud she could find and let the chips fall where they may, whether it be upon Republicans or Democrats. She said she plans to file a lawsuit this week and said it will be epic. President Trump's campaign is appealing a judge's decision to dismiss a case in Pennsylvania. Lead attorney Rudy Giuliani said he fully disagreed with the ruling.
The appeal brings the campaign one step closer to its stated goal of getting an election challenge to the Supreme Court. District Court Judge Matthew Brand dismissed the campaign's lawsuit on Saturday. He said the plaintiffs lacked standing to bring the claim. The Trump campaign argued that voters in Republican-controlled counties were treated unequally to those in Democrat-controlled counties. That voters in Democrat-controlled counties were given the chance to fix issues with their absentee ballots, while those in Republican-controlled counties were not. Brand argued that, quote, none of the defendant counties received, reviewed, or discarded the individual plaintiffs' ballots. Even assuming that defendant counties unconstitutionally allowed other voters to cure their ballots, that alone did not confer standing on plaintiffs who seek to challenge the denial of their votes, unquote. The campaign filed an appeal on Sunday.
The G20 summit wrapped up on Sunday. President Trump spoke about what the United States has done since withdrawing from the Paris Climate Accord.
At the virtual G20 summit over the weekend, President Trump defended his decision to.
I'm still looking up on that one. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, but anyways, so what do you think? What do you think of Sidney Powell? I mean, I'm like this. It's right. I mean, she's doing this on her own because she feels. Because number one is, even though she's on there and she's on there with Giuliani and the team, you know what I'm saying? She is a patriot.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? At its purest form. She's a lawyer for the people. You know?
I agree with you, and that's the type of patriotism we need to see. People just rising up and saying, I'm going to do the right thing. Unfortunately for her, she kind of went too far off the deep end there with, releasing the Kraken and Kraken on steroids and then not backing it up a whole lot.
I'm gonna say this, I mean, I'm not the person that's on the bandwagon. I'm monitoring this like everybody else is, but a lot of this stuff is going to the Supreme Court. A lot of this stuff, I mean, dealing with the Dominion and Smart whatever and the Sequoia Company and all that stuff like that. I've been really, really looking at that. and I still get smart. I'm smart. You know what I'm saying? There's just so much information. I mean, I have a Joe Biden when it comes to all these damn programs and people and all that stuff like that. It's just too much shit to remember. But anyways, I'm not going to jump on a bandwagon uh, that she said too much or she went too much on a deep end or released the Kraken or anything like that. And the reason being I'm not is because there is a buttload of of proof. You know what I'm saying? Affidavits and all that, and also what happened inside Germany, was inside Spain. You know what I'm saying? When they got the servers and all that stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Plus the watermarked votes. And and I'm not going to be that person to sit there and bash Sidney Powell because yeah, there is a Kraken. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there is. I mean, she's not. I mean, I don't think she's lying. I mean, I think she's the one that's really that she has. I think she has a lot of the affidavits. You know what I'm saying? Because the people trust her, and people got to understand that I'm really thinking that she is a people's lawyer. She's representing we the people. You know what I'm saying? That happens to be
Mm-hmm.
allying with, you know what I'm saying, the Trump team. So I don't think the Trump team is actually backing down. You know what I'm saying? But also at the same time, it could be a conflict of interest if she was with the Trump team due to her being the lawyer for General Flynn.
I wouldn't see that a conflict of interest at all, being that they're just two drastically different cases.
Yeah, I can say that too. But I mean, maybe I'm thinking as in what the right would actually spin it to. You know what I mean? Because anything Trump says, does, or anybody affiliated with the Trump, or even if you mention Trump's name, you know what I'm saying? Not saying I'm on his dick, not saying or anything like that, because I go, me personally, I speak for myself. It's not, I'm completely independent, fundamental, and my version of independence is a fundamental constitutionist.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And and the way I see it, she's the people's lawyer representing we the people. Because she don't have to do this. But she knows it's wrong and kudos to her. And people gotta stop I really think that people gotta stop spinning a narrative on her. You know what I'm saying? And just face face the truth that she's representing the people, not Trump. But let alone is Trump got his lawyer team. At least we got somebody on our side to represent us, and also they're allying with us. They're allying together to get all this stuff in Supreme Court. They both have affidavits. They both have evidence. You know what I'm saying? It may be different case. I don't know how it's working. You know what I'm saying? I don't. Nobody knows how it's working. It's all just speculation on how it's working. Only thing we know that it's going to the Supreme Court sooner or later.
We also know that I think regardless of what's going to happen, it's going to be a very turbulent 4 years. Another turbulent 4 years.
Right.
If Trump remains president, which I think is ideal, the left is going to have another 4 years of crying like babies and tearing shit up and claiming that Trump was illegitimately elected again.
Oh yeah, of course.
Then you have. It's funny how short the memory is on the left, because you have Whoopi Goldberg the other day saying, y'all just need to suck it up. That's what we did. No, you didn't.
Yeah.
No, you didn't. What point did you suck it up?
Right.
You spent 4 damned years talking about how much you hate President Trump and everything he does, and ignoring how great he's been for the black community, ignoring how great he's been for the world, ignoring everything that he has done, and just saying, "Oh, he's a horrible human, horrible person. He's just he's just a Cheeto with a bad toupee." At no point did they suck it up.
Oh yeah. But as it says, man, I go, they're fish. You know what I'm saying? I says, don't call these people sheeple. They're wolves. They ain't sheep. They're not sheep's in wolf clothing. They're just wolves. They attack you in packs.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? These are just wolves, and also they're fish. Got a mind blame. Got a mind capacity of 15 seconds and forget all about their shit. You know what I'm saying? The fish,
Mm-hmm.
they're dumb as a fish. That's why it says, man, we're fishermen of men, man, trying to wake these people up. But the awakening is happening. You know what I'm saying? Which is a great, great thing. You know what I'm saying? It's lovely.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? It's happening. Gradually but surely it's happening. And the left really, really thinks that they're gonna have a that this gets overturned, you know what I'm saying? Which I think it will because there's so much evidence and these are what they call them under oath with the begins with the A affidavits. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
The affidavits, right? They sit there and they throw down these affidavits and all that stuff like that. These are under oath, and people say, "Well, too." No, they have thousands of them. I think they have thousands of them. You know, this is all over the United States of witnessing the fuckery that's happening. You know what I'm saying? Not just inside the actual vote um, at the polls, but also what's happening inside the U.S. postal system, the backdating and all that stuff like that of votes. Also, the watermark votes. This is a giant, giant sting, and there ain't nothing they can do about it. And if it does happen, and they do, then all out hell's going to break loose. I'm not saying that I'm going for violence or anything like that, but that's what the left did. The left was violence, and and in all aspects, man, they drew first blood. They've been drew first blood.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And I don't think this is second. Then if Trump goes in, his second 4 years. I mean, I don't know about Congress because we have a lot of people of no backbone, no balls inside the Republican, and then we have the rhinos. But I think this is going to be a completely different ball game with the people, and then with the cabal and all that stuff like that, trying to bring in this agenda 2030. You know what I'm saying? Agenda 21, Agenda 2030, completely taking the sovereignty away from our country and other countries, which most countries got their sovereignty taken away from them right now. Only people's left is us, Russia, and you can say somewhat Africa. You know what I'm saying? The African countries and their sovereignty. You know what I'm saying? What they're dealing with right now, and they're fighting a cabal themselves. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And as I'm looking at this in all generalization, that basically us and Russia are the only two actually really, really trying to fight this, you know. And I'm gonna say, man, I says everybody's afraid of it. Why would it be afraid of it? But I really think in the second 4 years we really gotta go Reagan style with Russia. You know what I'm saying? We have to have Russia as an ally if we're going to defeat this. I mean, it's just logical. Enemy of my enemy is my friend. You know, and we know for a fact that Putin do not like the New World Order, the NWO, you know what I'm saying, or the cabal or anything like that. He wants his country sovereign just as much as we do. Yes, I don't trust Putin, but at the same time, the enemy of my enemy is my friend for the time being.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Sometimes G.I. Joe had to work with Cobra.
No, I see where you're going there. That makes sense. I think it'd be a bad idea to openly work with Russia at any point in the near future. More like a standalone complex. Both are trying to maintain sovereignty on their own. So
Right,
on their own, they're each fighting this globalism,
right,
but not directly interacting with each other.
right. But I don't know, man. You know what I'm saying? We don't know what's happening closed doors. And I always had a question is, what was inside the soccer ball, and I looked at that automatically. I mean, there has to be something inside. What was inside the soccer ball?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I mean because it's it's just one of those things on my mind. You know what I mean? And I can't get it out. I saw it. What was on the letter? What was in the letters of the during the Bush funeral? You know what I'm saying? With
Mm-hmm.
all the main players got a little envelope inside the program, and they open it, and they look pretty upset with it. And Trump just sitting there, la da 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 da. You know what I'm saying? There's a
Mm-hmm.
lot of things. There's a lot of clues. There's a lot of stuff that people didn't see that if you really look, you see. Same thing with when a Q post is, man. There's a lot of Q proofs happening right now. Lots. You know what I'm saying? Um, Doing with the Supreme Court justice, the timing of the Supreme Court justice. Nobody knew where she was and all that. Me personally, man, I believe she was on a respirator to blame whole time, and that was just deep fakes. That was just
Mm-hmm.
me. You know what I'm saying? I think they couldn't keep they couldn't keep it a secret that Ginsburg was already dead and she'd been dead for a long time. I really believe that.
No, well, I strongly believe in the possibility. Imagine the hate and the vitriol of an elderly woman saying, "I'm not going to leave. I'm going to stay right here." It wouldn't surprise me if she was just confined into a private hospital room,
But I
allowed to
mean,
rot for quite some time.
but let's think about this, man. I mean, they were sitting there talking to her, and then she fall asleep. And how is she voting when she couldn't even stay awake? You know, I
Yeah.
mean, I mean, this is this. I mean, she was dead longer than a day. They just couldn't keep the secret that long. I think she been dead. You know what I mean? I really think she been dead, man. Well, she came to the court. She da 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 da. But I never. But there's no picture. I haven't seen a picture. And why? I'm not thinking. Was it a body double? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe it. You know, but I could be wrong. You know what I'm saying? And if I'm wrong, then I'm wrong, and I admit ahead of time that I'm wrong. But you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But I don't believe that she was alive as long as as long as they said. I mean, from when they said she died. I mean, I'm sorry. You know, it just doesn't add up for me. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's no way all them surgeries and being over 80. What was he? 80? What 80? What? Almost 90?
I think she was 87.
You know, and she was frail, couldn't wake up. She can barely speak. I doubt she could sit there and lift a blame pencil. You know what I'm saying? Have you seen like her when she was alive and how bad she looked?
Well, yeah, she's pretty out of it. It was at that age where you just need to retire. She should have retired, 20 years ago.
Yeah,
Just been a grandmother. That's all she had to do.
yeah, man. And it's just it. But now, you know what I'm saying? They couldn't keep it. They couldn't keep it. Then they got then they got ACB in there. What was her name? What was her name?
Amy
The new
Coney Barrett.
Yeah, ACB in there. Amy Cohen Barrett, ACB and OAC. And then what's funny was the timing, and then they put her in there. And I'm curious to see what happens in the Supreme Court. Like, does it really change? Because also, I mean, Kavanaugh made some made some weird decisions. You know what I'm saying? From what so far, I forgot what they were. I gotta look at them again. But it was something that was voted against Trump that Kavanaugh voted against. That he was a vote, and it didn't go Trump's way. I'm not sure exactly what it was. It was something that was relatively big. What was it? Uh, uh, I'm gonna check on it. It was it was a it was a it. that they could have won, but Kavanaugh said no. You know what I mean? And it was something. I just don't remember what it was. Not saying that Kavanaugh's a bad, but he got his own individual point of view. But this right here is going to be the biggest test with this election for the Supreme Court and stuff. So what do you think of this new Supreme Court? Basically, that supposedly we got the majority. So everybody says.
It's still going to be a bit of a toss-up. These people have spent their entire lives enforcing the law, or not enforcing the law, but making judgments based on the law. If the Trump team still needs to come up with some very valid evidence, and
right,
a few people saying, "Oh, I didn't vote; somebody voted for me." That's not enough evidence, because they were talking one out of 150 million people. The affidavits from these postal workers, that's a little more helpful.
Mm-hmm.
But there needs to be a lot more going on. We don't know all the evidence. We don't know everything being presented, so we just need to really hope on that.
Right.
I'm really sure. I really believe Clarence Thomas is saying to himself, just please give me one thing I can hit him with. Clarence Thomas, people can hold grudges. I'm pretty sure Clarence Thomas seems like a great fellow, but he's been waiting 30 damn years to freaking punch Joe Biden in the dick. Okay?
Yeah. Oh, especially oh man. Yeah. Oh yeah. I think this is a little bit, but it's a little bit personal. But now it's like he's like basically, yeah, man, I got the law on my side now, nigga. You know what I'm saying? I got the law on my side, nigga. Now what? You know what I'm saying? Oh, please. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I think that's the way he is. I think Clarence Thomas is like blame. It's like Ice Cube on New Jack City. Man, I wanna shoot you so bad, my dick is hard.
Oh, that's a classic.
That's a That's my favorite line of every week. I mean, Ice T, New Jack City, when he wanted to kill Nino Brown so bad. I want to kill you so bad, my dick is hard. And I think that's what Clarence Thomas is right now. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
He's ready. I mean, he's ready. He's ready to go all out in. You know what I'm saying? Now, off the political thing, these were like interesting. All right, very interesting. Oh yeah, I still got the AP. The impact of Trump's weapons. Oh yeah, we got to vote. MSNBC. We got to vote. Fair use. You know what I'm saying? This is all public, so we gotta get an MSDNC. So we got to sit there and go through MSDNC, man. I have to. I have to get at least one of these cats in because the weapons the weaponization of the election. So man, what is it? Cancel conscious, precious, StreamYard. Is there anything that you've seen today that was interesting?
I have not been in touch with this as much as I used to be, just because I've been so busy, and I just know that we're all just waiting on what the Supreme Court says. Everything else is just kind of a lull.
Oh yeah.
We constantly hear the media trying to say, well, Trump says without evidence. They keep saying without evidence. Well, God bloody hell, media, it's your job to figure out what the truth is behind it, not just say he doesn't have any evidence.
Or stop saying it, you know what I'm saying, and just wait to say, well, we just got. I respect to say this is wait till the Supreme Court, but they don't want it to happen. Here we go. The impact of Trump's weaponization of the presidency, fair use, and you know what, man, I gotta watch these cats. We all need a laugh.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Excuse me. We all need a laugh sometime. So. MSDNC.
who occasionally advises President-elect Joe Biden. John Meacham, it's wonderful to see you, my friend. President Obama has used a lot of his conversations about the book, which makes these points as well, but to really, I think, make sure this gets through. This idea that truth decay, that we no longer have a shared set of facts, so we don't have a shared diagnosis of our problems, so we can't even begin a conversation about the solutions as one of the problems with our politics. How does Joe Biden take that on?
Well, I think that President Obama's analysis, his diagnosis is exactly right. And you ask exactly the right question, which is, what's the treatment? And to my mind, it goes back, as this would not surprise you, to St. Augustine, because I figure you haven't had St. Augustine mentioned in a couple of hours at least.
This is why we love you.
So St. Augustine had the best definition of a nation I've ever come across, which was that a nation is a multitude of rational beings united by the common objects of their love. Multitude of rational beings united by the common objects of their love. So there are two elements there. You have to be reasonable. You have to allow data and circumstance and fact to change your mind. And we have to love things in common. And what's happened, particularly since really the end of the Cold War, has been that in the absence of an existential threat, which tended to keep us together, we loved survival together, right? We loved that idea. But in the absence of that, there's been this remarkable dispersion of worldviews. And it, by all social science measures, it has gotten worse. There are antecedents in the past. The Richard Hofstadter wrote The Paranoid Style in American Politics in 1964 about the John Birchers. But the paranoid style has gone wide. And I think it comes down to basically the insistence, not just by leaders, but by all of us. I think this is a test not just of leadership, but of citizenship. That in fact, what we should love in common is that Jeffersonian promise of equality, which was not fulfilled in the beginning, should be fulfilled ever more now. And that if we're going to do that, we have to be, to borrow a term from the foreign policy world, we have to be rational actors. And if I am interested in the equality of somebody else, there's a much better chance they're going to be interested in mine. And so there's a covenant here that has to be restored.
But I don't want to be cynical, but we can't even get the current president to accept the reality of the election, and that has consequences. You've now got an entire, one of the two parties in our country is now for, by staying aligned with him, desecrating our democracy and disenfranchising mostly African-American voters in the states Trump lost. We can't get to reality in enough time to get to rational.
Well, it's not cynical.
Oh my God.
You're just observing reality. You're actually, you're participating in the Enlightenment experiment. So you're doing the right thing. And I just think that more of the people need to do that. And politicians, remember, are far more often mirrors of who we are than makers. And if enough of us can insist on, you know what, democracy is more important than any single one president, which the founders understood. You know, one of the reasons they grounded religious liberty, not in tolerance, but in liberty, is tolerance suggests that there's a majority that allows you to believe something, but you might not always be in the majority. And so I would argue that the first step here is the folks who voted for President Trump because of a enduring tribal loyalty to Republican policies, however oddly warped, et cetera. But we all know that there are a lot of people, you know them, I know them, who disdain what Trump has done personally, but they say, I want that policy. Those are the kind of folks who have to say, you know what, this is not simply about one person. And we've got to reasonably understand that if we want the other side to treat us with respect, we need to start doing it ourselves.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below.
Wow.
It's hilarious how she was saying, we can't even get the current president to accept reality. You spent 4 years, zero attachment to reality. That statement itself, zero attachment to reality. Because freaking Biden is not the president-elect. States have not certified. They have what, until December 14th?
As I said, man. I mean, you see how they feed upon your on your emotion and just give you this. They're talk about reality, you know, and then well, we have to start having more respect in order for them to start. I'm like, what?
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, what? I mean, and that's my laugh for today. You know what I'm saying with the media. So you know what, all you supporters on the left, man, that's something for y'all. To me, that was just 100% bullshit, flattery, and pandering. You know. Oh, and also they say, oh, the black vote was what was it? What they say they were. What I keep on, I forget. They were messing up. I mean, they're keeping the blacks from voting when it raised to like over 40% of blacks voted for blame Trump. Okay, so where was the so why was was a black vote how was the black vote taken away from the Democrats then, right? I'm like, really? That all the black people didn't vote? No, the black people didn't vote because they didn't like Kamala Biden or blame Trump. That's
Mm-hmm.
real. That's real. That's real deal. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of blacks didn't vote, but 35% to 40% of the blacks voted for Trump. You know, let's just get that straight. But people don't want to hear it. They think it's all bullshit because facts don't matter. Now, this right here is really, really bothering me. This is dealing with our school system and how, you know what I'm saying, the castle culture just continues to mess with you know what I'm saying, inside schools, with our kids. You know, I mean, this is just nuts. And I don't really talk much about this, but the cancel culture in the classroom, that's really this is really a problem now. Let's look at this.
Received a tip of a student op-ed that was written in a student publication at George Washington University calling for the same ban of Trump officials. You know, we've seen conservative students on college campus be dogged and silenced for years. For example, a group in Texas was threatening conservative students with doxing if they were to join conservative groups on campus, and now Harvard students are taking it to the next level by banning officials, people who have served this great nation, from coming to speak simply because, well, they served under Trump. Keep in mind, this would actually ban Keely McEnany from coming to speak at Harvard University. She attended Harvard Law School. That's her alma mater. She wouldn't even be able to go back and speak.
I mean, we saw something recently similar with Scott Atlas and Stanford, the Hoover Institute there. They don't necessarily, a lot of people are saying that he shouldn't be allowed to return there, speak there, teach there, whatever it may be. But what facilitates these actions? Because, as you said, it seems like they are ramping up a little bit. Is it because the media doesn't cover attacks against Trump supporters? Is it because college universities don't push back on this stuff? Are people just becoming more radicalized? What is the stemming root of this issue?
It's the petty game of politics that college students have been playing for far too long. Students aren't willing to listen to the other side of the story. They aren't willing to have open and meaningful discussions with people they may not agree with. And, you know, keep in mind that these students, they wouldn't even be able to have these discussions, and they're becoming more and more radicalized because they're only listening to one side of the story and not hearing both sides of the story. And by signing this petition and creating this petition, Harvard students are sending a message that they're not willing to listen and they're refusing to accept anyone that may disagree with what they have to say.
And I think that's symbolic of a larger argument that's taking place here. Because, for example, it's the same thing on cable news. People go to their desired outlets, they don't hear from the other side. In fact, networks don't put it from the other side out. You only get what you want to hear, and that's it. Same thing with social media. People follow who they want to follow. They don't like following people, for example, who have different ideas from them. So we're creating echo chambers, and I think that's very problematic for a number of different reasons. But when it
That
You
right
up the volume a little?
Okay. Oh, where is it? Dude, it's almost all the way up. You couldn't hear it?
Not
Wait,
very well.
Wait, let me see. Hold on. Hold on. You should have said something earlier. Wait, so let me take it off and reshare it. Okay, probably I didn't share the audio again. I really wish it would have did this like automatically. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
At George Washington
Is
University.
Oh, that much better.
Okay.
Calling for this.
All right, here we go.
is escalating a little bit.
100%. I mean, this is a growing trend. Just this morning, the Leadership Institute's campus reform received a tip of a student op-ed that was written in a student publication at George Washington University calling for the same ban of Trump officials. You know, we've seen conservative students on college campus be docked and silenced for many years. For example, a group in Texas was threatening conservative students with doxing if they were to join conservative groups on campus. And now Harvard students are taking it to the next level by banning officials, people who have served this great nation, from coming to speak simply because, well, they served under Trump. Keep in mind, this would actually ban Kayleigh McEnany from coming to speak at Harvard University. She attended Harvard Law School. That's her alma mater. She wouldn't even be able to go back and speak.
I mean, we saw something recently similar with Scott Atlas and Stanford, the Hoover Institute there. They don't necessarily, a lot of people are saying that he shouldn't be allowed to return there, speak there, teach there, whatever it may be. But what facilitates these actions? Because, yeah, as you said, it seems like they are ramping up a little bit. Is it because the media doesn't cover attacks against Trump supporters? Is it because college universities don't push back on this stuff? Are people just becoming more radicalized? What is the stemming root of this issue?
It's the petty game of politics that college students have been playing for far too long. Students aren't willing to listen to the other side of the story. They aren't willing to have open and meaningful discussions with people they may not agree with. And, you know, keep in mind that these students, they wouldn't even been able to have these discussions. And they're becoming more and more radicalized because they're only listening to one side of the story and not hearing both sides of the story. And by signing this petition and creating this petition, Harvard students are sending a message that they're not willing to listen and they're refusing to accept anyone that may disagree with what they have to say.
And I think that's symbolic of a larger argument that's taking place here because, for example, it's the same thing on cable news. People go to their desired outlets. They don't hear from the other side. In fact, many networks now don't put anyone from the other side on. You only get what you want to hear, and that's it. Same thing with social media. People follow who they want to follow. They don't like following people who, for example, who have different ideas from them. So we're creating echo chambers, and I think that's very problematic for a number of different reasons. But when it comes to people on college campuses, in the workplace, whatever it may be, are there enough protections to make sure that those people are not discriminated against based on their political affiliation?
There are not enough protections, and Harvard University is the perfect example. Look, Harvard is ranked as the second best national university by some organizations. It's supposed to be offering top-notch education and supporting all of its students, but I find this hard to believe when the student body is creating this petition to ban a certain group of people. And keep in mind that over 73 million Americans voted for President Trump in November. This petition would essentially ban the views of nearly half of the population that voted in the general election. And I'd also like to point out that just a couple of months ago, the husband of Pete Buttigieg, Chasten Buttigieg, was accepted as a fellow at the Harvard Institute of Politics. And one professor called him out on Twitter saying that he didn't even have political experience. Yet these Trump administration officials who do have political experience, they've worked in the administration, they've worked in government, they're the ones that are not allowed to come on campus to speak simply because they worked for Trump.
And I think it's counterproductive, too, because, I mean, it's the old saying, keep your friends closer and your enemies closer. I'm not saying that we should look at each other as enemies, but you should at least know the strategy of the other side. And if you're not willing to talk to them or hear from them or anything like that, I think that's problematic for forming your own argument as well. But when we look at this issue, I mean,
a lot of people do want unity. I think that they're willing to fight for their ideology. They're willing to fight for their values. But at the end of the day, the average person wants civility. What do you think we can do to get to that point?
That's a great question. And we've seen in the recent couple of weeks how Joe Biden has been calling for unity among Americans and to come together as one nation. But I find that hard when universities are creating this petition. Students at George Washington University are writing these op-eds, and even representatives like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez are creating apparent blacklists of Trump officials. This is anything but unity. If anything, it's only revealing the hypocrisy of the left when they say that they are the tolerant ones. So in order to really come together as a nation to unify, we have to start having these open and meaningful conversations with people who we agree with and also with people who we disagree with. Because how are we supposed to know the other side of the story if we just simply ban them on campus?
And Ophelia, I see even adults doing this. I mean, I'll go on Facebook, for example, and I'll see two people going at it, and it's ad hominem attacks. They're not talking about the idea necessarily. It's, you're a Trump supporter, I'm not listening to you. You're a socialist liberal, I'm not listening to you. That's really the arguments that you're seeing a lot of times on social media in particular. But do you think that that starts on college campuses? Do you think that really they get that mentality on these college campuses and they carry it with them through the rest of their life, and it's facilitated by the media, things of that nature? Do you think that that's really where it starts?
I definitely think the education and the promotion of having these meaningful discussions starts on college campuses. If college students are willing to create a petition that just bans people that they don't agree with, they think that that's how it's going to be in the real world. And we've seen adults, even on Facebook, block their friends simply for just having different viewpoints. And I definitely think it starts in the classroom with that mentality of you can agree to disagree, but that doesn't mean you have to simply cut off someone that you don't agree with.
And we see that even happening in families. I mean, I've talked to several people and seen different stories that say, you know what, my daughter, for example, won't talk to me right now because of my political affiliation, my support for Trump. So I think that this is getting to a breaking point and something that we do need to address in the near future. And I really appreciate you coming on the program tonight because it's an important issue. It's affecting a lot of people, whether they're on college campuses or they're just on social media. So Ophelia Jacobson, I really appreciate you coming on the program tonight and breaking down this issue. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me.
You're muted.
We have a lot of parents out there, man, talking about, well, since we were kids, we gotta sit in college and all that prestige and all that stuff like that. And these mainstream colleges, I mean, they're just what are they? Harvard, I would say, well, the Ivory Class college. I mean, Ivory College, Harvard, Yale. But I'm not even just going to go at the Ivy League schools. I'm going after schools like Penn State, Notre Dame. You know what I'm saying? All these big schools. You know, it's to me, it's all an indoctrination, and it's all basically all by the name. Like if you went to this school, you get this job because the name of the school that you got, and then they're only getting the people that are from these high esteemed schools like they're special when they're not. When the only thing it is it's like basically I call it indoctrination and an MK Ultra for another 4 years. You know, basically. But I think that what the future is tech schools. You know what I'm saying? Vocational schooling. That's the future.
Oh yeah, all the trades, Those are really booming because we got overstocked on freaking psychologists and lawyers, and nobody likes them.
Right. You know, and that's where it's at. And I really hope that and it's cheaper. They were always cheaper. I mean, I mean, sometimes you may have to take a math or something like that. Okay, so some people just go like the first year and just take all their blame maths, their math science, you know, and they're paying no more than $500 just to get them credits over with. You know, say at a vocation school, they'll spend the first year doing that, maybe $1,000, $2,000. You know what I'm saying? While they're working, they can sit there and go ahead and pay that off. Then you can sit there, and after you get your regular classes, or now I mean, they should have programs that you don't even have to do that. that I think that like when you're in high school, your maths, your science, and all that should already be credited to your college. I mean, why pay to do it all over again? You see, I just don't see the logic in taking high school again your first year in college.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's just the constant lowering of standards. Using a bureaucracy and a socialist education system, it just hasn't worked. All these bureaucrats trying to make decisions on behalf of school systems has been ridiculous. We need to get rid of the federal oversight, hand it back to the states, let them handle it. You'll see who comes out on top, who comes out on bottom.
And I'm not a Tesla. I mean, what's his name? What was his name from Tesla?
Elon Musk.
Elon Musk. I like his idea of schooling.
What's that?
That make it more interactive. You know what I'm saying? Make it more outdoors. Have your class to museums. You know what I'm saying? Parks, historical places. Make it more interactive, especially in the springtime. You know what I'm saying? Spring, or you're coming in, let school be outdoors, someplace, you know what I'm saying? Someplace else other than the classroom. Then you go to the classroom in the wintertime. You know what I'm saying? But when the springtime comes, I think that's when you sit there, you really concentrate on your maths, your science, you know what I'm saying? Your math. Science can be all through. Math, man, hit them hard with math during the winter months. You know what I'm saying? You got like November, December, January, November, December,
Well,
January,
it kind of depends on the part of the country you're in.
March, yeah, April. Yeah, 5 months. Well, so there's 9 months, so 3.5 months of about parkour maps, or just whatever, get that done. You have to pass it. Then I like summer school personally. Me, I wish I would have took summer school a lot more. I felt that I learned a lot more in summer school. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, I took, I go, I took an algebra class during the summer. You know what I'm saying? I have my credits. You know what I'm saying? But I just took the algebra class in the summer because I wanted to. And I was fine with taking one class. You know what I'm saying? During the summer, it was only like 2 hours out of my day, 2 3 hours out of my day, if that. I don't really remember, but it wasn't that long. I got my homework done. It was basically like a solid hour of teaching something new. Then we did our homework basically in school, and then at that particular point in time, it was the same size, like maybe about 20 kid classroom and stuff like that. But it gave a lot more time for help. The reason being is because you may have the class for 2.5 hours, right? But the teacher would be there for 3 or 4 hours. You know what I'm saying? About 2 hours after the class. You know what I mean? So if you really, really need some help, you know what I'm saying, you'll get the help on something that you understand, and the teacher would reteach it if they have to, if you really have problems with it. I thought my grade, I got all that class with an A. You know what I'm saying? I mean, easy. So I'm fully for summer school. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, I think it like should be like for your weakest class. And if a kid can't do 2 3 hours, you know what I'm saying, of school in 5 days a week, then that's straight out lazy, you know. But the whole system in generalization for high school, it has to change. And you're in basic arithmetic and the maths that you take, you shouldn't have to take them over in college or in any school. Not unless if it's something like it's a tech school that you gotta take this math. That, well, you're going to have to take algebra. You're going to have to take a geometry. You're going to have to take that. Why? Because it's part of the curriculum of this particular job. You know what I'm saying? They shouldn't have to teach you basic arithmetic again in college. You know what I'm saying? You should know arithmetic. You start doing arithmetic in like, I mean, heavy arithmetic, like in fourth grade, all the way to you're a senior in high school. If you don't know how to do basic arithmetic or even advance to another math before um high school, before you're a freshman, you know what I'm saying? Or at least I give it a matter of fact, 11th grade you should at least take algebra or be in geometry. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, you don't need to do anymore. And then what's funny is they have this prestigious school, and this will be the last one. I'll do the GOP in China thing tomorrow. And this is crazy. This is crazy. This is what I'm talking about, indoctrination with kids and stuff. That this just ain't right. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And this is not just in. I mean, the only reason being this got hit on the news because this was a prestigious school, but this is happening in public schools too. That happened again. Hold on. And it really, really ticks me off that this is actually happening. You know what I mean? This is sad. And I mean, I'm really just starting to be in for this homeschooling, which a lot next year schools. I mean, homeschooling is going to be it, and I don't think they. I don't know. I mean,
School in La Jolla, California, forces
America's Pearson Sharp.
Left-wing censorship is alive and well in America's school system. A prestigious school in La Jolla, California, forces one of its students to remove a Make America Great Again hat. School leaders at La Jolla Country Day School claim the MAGA hat was, quote, offensive to our community. The head of the school, Gary Cron, later posted a video in response to the incident, stating that the hat was a symbol of racism and hatred.
When I approached the student, I shared with him that he had that right to wear the hat. I also shared with him the impact it has on our community. That hat has a symbol of racism and hatred.
what happened?
It was a short
Blame
video.
Windows, man. I can't. No, it wasn't. Hold on. Wow.
What happened?
Oh man, the like Windows 10 barely. Here we go. Here we go. All right, I'm back. I got it. Windows 10 at its best, man. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to find now. I'm trying to find the blame. Okay, I hate Windows 10. I really do. I can't take it. I like my old one. I like my other one better. I have it now. Okay, prestigious school. Here we go. Share. All right, here we go.
School in La Jolla, California, forces one.
You hear
at
it?
La Jolla Country Day School claim the MAGA hat was, quote, offensive to our community. The head of the school, Gary Cron, later posted a video in response to the incident, stating that the hat was a symbol of racism and hatred.
When I approached the student, I shared with him that he had that right to wear the hat. I also shared with him the impact it has on our community. That hat has a symbol of racism and hatred.
You hear it?
We could argue about whether that's true or not.
Yeah,
but it's a fact that
ridiculous.
in our community, there's a belief that that's what that hat represents.
While Cron claims in the video that the First Amendment is the most precious thing we have in this nation, he immediately followed that up by shaming his student for expressing his freedom of speech. Not only that, but the school also has no policy in its dress code against wearing political attire or slogans. Cron insists his decision was not based on politics, but instead was based on dignity, insinuating that it is undignified to support the President of the United States. In an email Cron sent to school staff, he added that the student now understands why that hat is offensive, he won't be wearing it again, and that his mother has said she is embarrassed by her son's behavior. All this with parents paying close to $40,000 a year for their children to be strong-armed into obedience by Marxist teachers. One America News has received numerous complaints from parents in the community, many of whom are now threatening to pull their children out of La Jolla Country Day School. In a final statement, Gary Cron added that the school will continue to honor the First Amendment, which apparently means just as long as students only share opinions the school's left-wing leadership agrees with. Pearson Sharp, One America News. Want to see more videos like this? Visit Owen.
Wow. You know what I'm saying? That's
Wow.
something. I'm like,
That's
I mean,
funny.
oh, he's fully for it. He's fully for the our First Amendment rights. You know, he's fully for it.
It just depends on what you're saying at the time.
I'm like, the indoctrination. I mean, and do you really want the states to do, not the government nor the states, man? I think schools should go private. Even that right, dude. There's no hope for American school systems, as I can see it, because if it goes federal, they're fucked. Look at California, right? You really want the state of California to take care of their schooling when they have a drag queen story hour and all that stuff? Like, you really want California, like Governor Newsom, to take care of the schooling system in California? Then it goes to to private schools, or private schools will be corporate, and then a corporate indoctrination. I mean, it's like you're better off just homeschooling your kids, being in control of your education, because I don't see no answer. You know what I'm saying? And
Mm-hmm.
I don't. The states, private and federally. I mean, it's all bad. It's all bad, bro. You know what I'm saying? I mean, think about it. I mean, it goes like the privatizing of prison system. You know what I'm saying? And see that what lucrative money that they actually make from it. Now, imagine to privatize school, then the corporate system would actually start making private schools for their own specific indoctrination. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You go to the state and you have someone like Newsom or Whitmire, Wolf, or Cuomo in charge of this. You know, you said that it should be by the states, and
Mm-hmm.
I don't have faith in none of it, bro. I mean, there's no answer. There's no answer. I mean, I don't see an answer for that. Either way, it's all bad to me. What do you think? I mean, as I'm thinking about it, and I thought about it, and I thought about what you were saying, and I was watching it, and it's all that was running through my brain mind of what you said, and I was like, nah. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's fucked all the way around, dude. But what your opinion on that?
I think it's a system we're constantly trying to improve. But when there is no competition, there is no opportunity for advancement. So if you take away the federal oversight and turn it back over to the states are now in competition with each other. to see who can produce the best students. They now have a greater incentive to actually educate the children. Now, Jay, it's getting kind of late. I need to get going, man.
Yeah, I need to go myself, man. I'm getting ready to get out to go to the store. I gotta get some more cigarettes. But anyways, man, it's good to have you here, man. It's getting kind of, yeah, it's like, whoa, it's like 11:30, 11:49. But good to have you here, man. Hope you come back, man. Have a wonderful day. Then I just got hit up to go on to Maurice Delk's panel.
All
And
right.
chill out there. All right, well, man, go check out Moto, man. He be doing his thing, though, man. See what it's another Rumble.
Oh.
All
Night,
right.
everyone.
Good night, and I'll check y'all out. You be cool. All right.
Oh.
All right, man. Go to sleep, yo. All right. Early bird. Yeah, you gotta take the night shift and stuff. Okay. All right, brother. Whoop. All right, then. Like I always say, I'll check you out later. And also, I say, fuck Facebook, fuck Twitter, fuck you, fuck YouTube, fuck Google, especially fuck Mr. Zuckerberg. I'm Audi 5000. Y'all be cool like that. Peace.